Hello, hello. Happy Friday. It is Friday the 13th of March.
Friday.
It is Friday. That's true. I don't care if it's Friday the 13th and you're superstitious. It's still Friday. So it's a Friday.
Yeah.
It is a Friday for us.
Pet your black cat. Walk under as many ladders as you want. Whistle past
Are you
the
superstitious?
graveyard.
I don't suspect that you are.
I'm not.
Me neither.
The thing is, I'm interested in superstitions.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I would do the thing where it's like, don't try not to step on the crack in the sidewalk because wouldn't want my mother's back to break. That would be bad.
You don't want to do that, Ted.
No.
That would suck. You're her only child.
It would just be rude.
It would just be terrible.
Does that mean moms who have like 13 kids are more likely to have their backs broken because there's so many more opportunities to have a crack stepped on?
Do you remember all those those Goosebumps books and all these so in my mind, I always wondered why they didn't make like a series of movies, because they did Goosebumps like movies and stuff. Why didn't they do like children's superstitions of things like that, like kids stepping on a crack and their mother's backs are like, look.
No, that's a good idea. That would be like a great, that's sort of analogous to an idea I had. I used to be in another life. I was an editor. I acquired comics for newspapers, and I helped develop them I would basically like someone would submit a comic strip, and then I would decide whether it got syndicated or not. I would help develop it.
Right.
Super fun job because it was like helping other people's be
that group
be creative.
Right?
Yeah, United Media. So anyway, yeah, it's a big company. Or it was a big. Now it is no company. Anyway, the point is, because it's print media, I had this idea for a comic strip, and I still think it would have been kind of cool if it was like a popular cliche and where it came from, like a popular saying, and it could be things like "step on a crack, break your mama's back," but it'd be like, for example, one I always mention is like "beyond the pale." Like, where does that expression come from? And
I love stuff like that.
And stuff like that. By the way, do you know where Beyond the Pale comes from?
Vlad the Impaler.
That's a good guess, but that's not true. Although Vlad the Impaler, I think, is part of the
Dracula.
The Dracula myth, right?
Dracula myth. Yeah.
But
Robbie's all into that stuff, so don't even.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So I like, so I feel like, so the Pale is a river in Ireland, and the area beyond the Pale was very wild.
Oh, the Pale is a place?
It's a place. It's a geographical location, and it was wild and crazy.
Interesting.
And there were even reports of highwaymen who would not only stop and rob you and maybe rape and kill you, but they might eat you. Cannibalism was a thing in medieval Ireland. Because as we know, it can get hungry in Ireland. So the thing is,
so Beyond the Pale is
really, really beyond the pale.
Right. Like, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So there you go. This is the TMI show. We give you all kinds of information. Ted Manila Information Show, TMI. Sometimes it's random. Ted is a walking Snapple cap.
Yeah, that's so useful. But don't ask me to cap if you're missing your cap to keep your carbonated beverage.
So if you want to know random
trivia, I hate Snapple. By the way, I don't understand how anybody drinks that shit. It tastes horrible.
It was a thing in the 90s. It was
I know.
Marketing. No, I like their they have
everything tastes chalky. It all tastes chalky.
No, I remember their strawberry lemonade tasting good, but that was the only thing I ever drank from them. And it didn't last very long.
God, that reminds me of this skit. This guy Bob Bartlett, comedian, he did this skit called The Black Beatles, and so he had this one that was like it was all like some of them were obvious, like "Get black to where you once belonged," and then there's like "We all live in a yellow Coupe de Ville," and then there was my personal favorite, "Strawberry flavored malt liquor."
That could be good. I don't know. It could be pregnancy talking here. Anyway, I'm Manila Chan. That's Ted Rall. This is the TMI show, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern time, after deprogram. Hit the like button. Help the show continue to grow our little program here. Robbie says there's an ad. I don't know if we still have it there, Robbie. Sorry, we got you laughing.
Yeah, no, we do. 1 second.
Oh. Okay. And your audio is muffled. Oh, because your mic isn't like.
No, your audio is muffled on my end.
Really?
No, you're muffled.
Okay,
no, you're muffled.
Now you're clear.
Robbie, it's you.
No, you're muffled.
All
right,
it's you because I can hear you both, and Robbie, it's you.
Oh.
Robbie, it's you.
But Robbie's clear now.
Well, we're having a blizzard right now.
What?
We are having a blizzard,
well, look,
like an
we
honest to God
snow.
blizzard.
That's awesome.
We got snow yesterday, and the day before that, it was 81 degrees.
Well, you got to remember, back in February and middle of January, it was in the 50s here. So winter has finally arrived.
Right. Ted and I were like freezing in blizzard in February, and you were like having summer short weather.
Yeah, it was. Yes, completely backwards. Right. And that ad is up for you now.
All right. Let's rock and roll. All right, still haven't tried 1775 coffee. Now is your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, that smooth medium roast, and the Vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus without the crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin-free, mold-free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because freedom ain't scooped with plastic. And a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions. And you'll get a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, all yours for $99. This is for all of you who've been watching 1775 blow up here on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler alert, producer Robbie swears by it. It is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio. Grab your starter kit before they're all gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. And with that, Ted, I think a lot of the stories today are health-based.
Those are some of my favorites. I mean, because the thing is, we do an obscure show, but we both care about health because, after all, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything because you're fucking dead. And
anything without your health.
But also, it is super interesting, and it's science and it's politics, and we learned that during COVID. I mean, for sure.
I know the intersection of medical science and politics. Like that's.
You think it's objective, but it's not.
No, it's. I feel like it's really, really an underserved topic. So I'm glad that this show is kind of like a weird news variety show.
Yeah. Although I can always do silly animals doing weird animal things.
Well, we do that sometimes too, especially if it's like
By the way,
caught on video.
Producer Robbie helped me recently at my abode. I had to call Robbie and say a deer died next to my fucking house, and what do I do about it? And it was like
it dropped dead like outside of the house.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. And
was it a buck or a girl one?
It was a doe. I would say not the biggest, but like definitely an adult, but like a small adult. So maybe like a teenager or.
Okay.
I mean, so it was kind of like, so what could happen? And I called producer Robbie because he's from Montana and he's killed animals. And so he's like, well, maybe you can eat him. And I was like, well, but I don't know how long he's been dead, and I don't know, like,
you don't.
I don't know what killed him, and
right.
so if it's a disease or whatever. So anyway, not to mention, I mean, look, I'd be willing to learn how to process.
Medicine's great.
Agreed, and I've never, I've definitely processed fish, but I've never processed a large mammal.
Dropping dead, like if it's not clear as to why it died,
how long it's been dead, right?
Right. So those two factors.
Yeah. So I'm like, I mean, if I were desperate, I mean, like if it was
like if you had hit it with your car.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
That's yours. That's yours.
No, I did
fresh meat.
I did hit 2 swans with a car one time, and I kind of regretted not eating them. But
swans.
The 2 swans, I was driving along on Long Island, and the 2 swans, like I'm going like 30 or 40 miles an hour, speed limit. I uncharacteristically driving the normal speed, and like the 2 swans came out. They were about 3-4 feet above the ground, and they were like all tangled up. They were fucking in midair, and they just like I guess got so carried away that like they were flying fucking or flucking, we'll call that in a portmanteau.
Is that really how they do it?
That's how these 2 were doing it. I mean,
I've never seen
their last memory was a happy one, and like
I've never seen a foul fuck.
well,
So
yeah, well, nor had I, but holy shit! And then like
those are big birds.
They were big, and like one of them was DOA, but the other one was like sort of fucked up, and I was like, oh no! So thank God I had a 2x4 in my trunk.
Oh no! So you put it out of its misery.
You have to. You have to.
I know.
I mean, yeah.
I know. It's the natural world. I know. No, I know. I get it. I've never. Thankfully, I've not accidentally.
But I bet the swans would have been yummy. Ew, but anyway, so Robbie helped me with He's like, you got to get rid of that thing because it's going to attract like bears and like coyotes and shit like that.
So how did you get rid of it? Do you bury it?
I picked it up with a shovel and it was heavy as shit.
Yeah.
And I dumped it because it's literally dead weight. And then I dumped it onto a tarp and I dragged the tarp over to the property line. Like, like hundreds of feet. So it's like, I'm like, there's eagles. I saw bald eagles. It's like, there's eagles.
Oh, you're just going to let it like let nature have at it?
Yeah. You guys have fun.
Just out.
Just out. Yeah. Away from the house. Right. Just sort of, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do with a deer.
Robbie says swan tastes good. They're all white meat.
All white.
I'm a dark meat guy when it comes to turkey.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I'll take chicken thigh over breast any day.
Me too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I'm sure both you and Robbie, as women go, would take breast over thigh any day. So
that's an interesting question. I don't know. I'm kind of partial to thighs, actually.
Oh, you're a leg man.
Oh no! Oh, did I ever tell you? I have to tell you this story because it's so great. I'm on this bus that's like a roll. I'm in Pakistani Kashmir on this bus that's like a rolling version of the bar scene in Star Wars, where there's like every kind of like there's Uyghurs and Talibs and like Pakistani dudes speaking Urdu and Chinese
people
guys.
Like big moles. And
yeah, there are. Yeah, there was some
that's
serious
always
like don't step on my mole, my mole hair. And so everyone's on there, right? It's like fucking crazy. I mean, if we were the only survivors on Earth, we wouldn't have been a pretty group, but we would have been the most ethnically diverse group possible. So to reproduce. So anyway, the point is this Afghan guy is talking to me, and he overhears this conversation I'm having with someone else about girls, and he's like, so like he asked me like, oh, so in America, what do men look for in a woman physically? And I said, well, America is a large and diverse country of hundreds of millions of men. So everybody's got different tastes. And I'm not even going to get into the gay guys. But I mean, everybody, it all depends. I said, but as for me specifically, I look at the legs. And he goes, why? And I said, well, because if a girl's got nice legs, then everything follows from there. Like, probably she has a nice ass, and probably everything's fine. It's very unusual to see a girl with great legs who's like fugly elsewhere, right? I mean, maybe she could be a butter girl, but the body will be
but her figure is usually going to follow suit. Yeah, usually. That's a fair assessment.
So then we're rolling along. It was 5 days on that bus, and he goes, and the dude goes, aren't you going to ask me what we look for in my country? I'm like, sure, I'll bite. What do you look for? And he goes, with no irony at all, he goes, we look at the eyes. And I'm like, dude, you got nothing else. Yeah, that's the only choice. You're working with what you got. I just laughed, and he didn't understand why I thought that was funny.
You didn't ask him what happens if like you thought she had like these pretty hazel eyes or something, and then
gorgeous eyes,
like reveals her face, and you're like, oh my god,
she's monstra.
Like, you didn't ask a follow up, like what happens then, like when she reveals her face and
I think with the
her teeth are mangled, and
with the hardcore Afghan guys, I don't think they get to see the chick until their wedding.
Until the deal is done.
Yeah. Until the goats have been exchanged and all that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's no like buyer's remorse policy.
But
like,
apparently the parents negotiate it, right? And so like there can be disputes, as you
can't
know,
they
right?
no, they can't see a picture or anything.
Well, I think that the mothers, right? Like, so I think like, let's say
Oh,
your
my
son is,
son, right?
you're negotiating for your son with my daughter, then you can come and meet with my wife and
And I can see your
and you
daughter
can
because I'm a
eyeball
girl
her, and then you go back to your son and you're like, she's a
and be like,
she's tasty. You can tap
she's
that ass.
snacky. She's
You can,
snacky. All right. I
you
would
can
allow
hit
you to
that.
do that.
She's got tasty thighs. Go get it.
Like,
Yeah.
all right, son, I think you want to hit that.
Yeah. But otherwise,
That's
but you got to be
weird.
looking out for your son properly. But it's assumed that
Yeah.
an Afghan mom would be doing that.
Maybe, but the Afghan mom might be like, she has childbearing hips. But really the son might be like, I like, thin girls, but
Right. Mm-hmm.
but the mom would be like, she's gonna give me really a lot of good grandchildren.
And then he's like,
out of
Mom.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know.
It is hard.
As a boy mom now, and then having a girl on the way, I'm gonna have to adjust my kind of thinking here of how I'm gonna judge future dates.
And also when you're by the time society will have collapsed due to climate change. So we will be living in a neo-feudal society.
That's right.
So you are going to be we will be having arranged marriages based on the sale of pet raccoons.
I'm going to want to know how much fucking water the family has, like in their well.
Right.
How much fresh water they have. Do you have access to fresh venison or
how many years?
Or what do you have?
How many years of canned goods do you have?
I have ammo and shit that I can barter besides my son or my daughter or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But like I don't have access to animals. So I need the protein. So
yeah, this will be our lives within about 10 years, I would say. Yeah.
I think that's fair, especially with this war in Iran. So
yeah.
So let's get to it. All right,
let's get to it.
We gotta be out at 11.
Too.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a fun health news topic. So, so there you go. And we have to have fun with Pete Hegseth though.
Oh,
we had to. That story we had to. All right, let's go. Sorry, Ted. What were you gonna say?
I said he's not gay. He's not gay.
No, it's not a gay thing, but it's a prima donna thing for sure. So
I think he's gay.
That's just a tease. He's not gay.
I think he's a cock goblin.
No, we'll talk. That's your story. That's the second story. But the first story, is bad news for diet soda lovers, right? Because there's like sugar-free but sweetened with other crap. Not only sodas, but like every drink,
like Coke Zero and all those other things.
Yeah, every kind of drink, whether it's like fizzy, whether it's flat, doesn't matter. There's all kinds of like, no sugar.
Yeah, they have Splenda, or there's what's the one that starts with an N? Yeah. Nutra something. Or am I making that up?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But like sugar substitute.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Yeah, fake sugar. Basically saccharin or something like it.
So sorry to be a downer, especially to the diet soda drinkers.
None of this came as a surprise to me, by the way.
Yeah. No, not a surprise. Science has added another wrinkle to the already complicated story of sugar substitutes. Specifically, in a recent study published in Neurology, shows a potential link between regular consumption of these additives and faster cognitive decline. Remember, Donald Trump loves Diet Coke, Ted.
Yes, he does.
He has a Diet Coke button on the Resolute desk. I think it's a mobile button that he
I
carries
honestly
around.
do suspect that he is not really like all
He's
there.
not Trump of 2016. That's for sure.
No,
for sure.
That would be accurate.
I mean, granted, it's 10 years, but it's 10 years, and I think you do hit a tipping point at a certain age. But reading this story, hearing this study is kind of like, oh God, because they say that he loves. I mean, he literally has a button for like the butler.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Diet Coke. It's specifically for Diet Coke. I think it's like branded with like Diet Coke. Boop. But now that study shows that it will get you to a faster cognitive decline. Researchers followed nearly 13,000 adults in Brazil for 8 years, testing cognitive function at 3 points throughout the study. People who consumed the highest amounts of common sugar substitutes showed cognitive decline and at an astounding 62% faster. 62% faster than those in the lowest intake group. So I guess there's some people that maybe drink a little bit of Diet Coke, and then there's the people that are Donald Trump. There was a 62% faster decline mentally. So I wonder how many Diet Cokes Joe Biden had. That gap works out.
I still think that Joe Biden, I think he was a healthy dude, right? He bicycled.
He was
fit. Trim, he was a fit dude. He was fit. I think.
Remember, he would challenge people to
He was never very bright to begin with.
He strikes me as like a jock. I think he
snapped after Bo died.
Oh yeah, that could be. But he does strike me as like the dude that was like the dumb jock, like the high school football athlete. He strikes me as that type of.
Really? He strikes me as like the dumb guy who hung out with the jocks, like the wannabe.
Oh, could be. But he was athletic and he was in good shape. So maybe he could be one of those guys for sure. But that 62% decline, that works out to roughly 1.6 additional years of cognitive aging. So you're aging a year and a half faster than the rest of the cohort. With memory and verbal fluency hit the hardest. So that means it hits that part of the brain that does your verbal. Like, could that apply then to Donald Trump? I feel like we're watching him in real time with this study. Like, apply this study to it.
Oh yeah, no, I agree with that.
You're like, wow, like it is a Diet Coke decline. So this adds to a growing body of research that suggests heavily processed, artificially sweetened products may not be as benign as their 0-calorie label suggests. If diet drinks and low-cal packed snacks are a daily thing for you, it might be worth considering your overall ultra-processed food intake and how you can cut back. Now, keep in mind, the study doesn't definitively prove that sugar substitutes cause cognitive decline. So there's no need to, go absolutely nuts and throw out everything that has like a sugar substitute. But
I disagree with that completely. I say chuck it all. If it's not, look,
be aware.
Michael Pollan's right. Eat real food. As it is, sugar isn't really real food. Sugar is highly refined, but sugar is much closer to being real food than these fucking horrible things. Chuck
things that are made in a lab.
Drink not to mention also, Manila, here's the thing. Studies have shown, you and I, this, that like stuff that is sugar, like sugar substitutes, is actually, you don't lose weight. The only point of doing it is for low caloric intake, and they literally don't accomplish that job, right? So you are better off drinking regular sugar,
Mexican Coke.
Yeah, Mexican Coke, like RFK Jr. promotes, and that I drink whenever I have an opportunity to find one.
When I find Mexican Coke, I buy it, because it's a nice bubbly treat.
Do not.
And I know it's real cane sugar.
Obviously, don't be drinking soda every day. But if you are, whatever soda you're drinking, drink the real shit. Don't drink the fake shit.
So here's my one problem, though. I mean, so this study was done in Brazil, and for all of Brazil's food safety issues, we'll say, one thing though is that like the rest of the world, as opposed to the US, they are not afraid to define what ultra processed foods are. And they keep adding we have no federal designation.
Really? Is that true?
Definition.
Of like what constitutes ultra processing?
What is a UPF? What is a UPF? We don't have a federal definition for that.
Does the EU? It must, right?
They do. Everybody else does. Asia has it. And they keep adding to it when they're like, oh, this chemical, this synthetic thing in Asia, like they'll add that to the list. So China will fucking do it.
I mean, look,
France
you and I are old enough to know the idea that Asia is surpassing our food safety standards is fucking sane. considering that that's a place where when I first went to Taiwan in the 80s, where literally it was dangerous to eat the food because like they used what they called night soil to fertilize like the plants. Night soil would be your poo. So human poo was used to be, and like obviously that you don't have to have a rich, vivid imagination to imagine how sick you can get. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the world has come a long way, Ted, and we in the US have our agencies, and this is again to RFK's credit, pointing out how captured our food agencies are.
Can you imagine, by the way, how much pressure, how many like fucking lobbyists and like influential corporate CEOs are leaning on his ass?
Kraft and Mondelez and all of these, like
and
Coca-Cola, PepsiCo.
Trump, they're calling Trump like, and Trump's like,
they're sending Trump cases of Diet Coke.
I got a call from the CEO of Kraft. He's not very happy. Bobby, is there anything we can do?
Bobby,
like, I know
UPF.
Good food's important. No one knows that.
I really like Cheetos. It helps me keep my orange complexion.
My body is a temple of doom.
And he loves McDonald's, right? The president does. And then here's RFK that's like 70 something and doing like full pull-ups, right? Like,
except what's with his face? I'm talking about a butter girl.
He's
what's going on with
because
why?
Dude, he's a pale Irishman that didn't wear sunscreen in the 70s, and it shows.
Yeah, and he runs around outside all the time.
And it shows
with his weird ass animals, right?
It shows that he did not sunscreen his pale Irish ass. It shows. Which is a shame.
He literally looks like, he's like Mr. like. So if you were like, so what is the word? What does a craggy faced individual look like? Let me show you.
Poor guy. Yeah. Poor guy. I mean, you
and his father was so good looking.
Kennedy. The Kennedys are generally like the men, the ladies.
Bobby Sr. was the best looking, I'd say. JFK Jr. is objectively like
John was hot.
Oh yeah, well he was. I worked for him.
Don't tell me
at George. I did cartoons. I was the cartoonist at George magazine. Yeah,
I haven't seen the new John.
Oh my God! I got to tell you. Okay, I'm just going to make some news here. So I knew John. I knew John F. Kennedy Jr. John F. Kennedy Jr. was a friend of mine. Carolyn Bessette was an abusive cunt. She beat the shit out of JFK Jr. on the regular, and he told me he was an abused husband, and like he was absolutely miserable. And I am 100%.
But by all accounts, he was like gaga for her.
He was
like in an abused kind of a way.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And she was a crazy, psychotic, borderline bitch. And
well, she had those like
she has crazy eyes,
psycho eyes, like
and that's part of why he found her so fascinating, right? And she was a little smarter than him, not a lot smarter, but I mean,
really
a little bit. He wasn't the smartest guy. He was very sweet. He was very sweet. And by the way, in person, he would make even Robbie think about cock gobbling because he was so good looking. I mean, like the photos did not do him justice. In person, he was not photogenic. Like in real life, you're like, ugh, like you literally like are like no human being should.
So
look
he had
that
Bill Clinton charisma, is what I heard. That he has, and then some.
I've met both of them. Bill Clinton ain't got nothing on JFK Jr.
Wow.
So, I mean, JFK Jr.
Well, John was one of my first celebrity crushes growing up.
Well, I mean, with good cause, and like, so the point is this effort to sanitize her and to vindicate this relationship is sickening, and it's one of the most disgusting things. I can't fucking.
I might try to watch it this weekend. Try to watch it this weekend.
What a pile of shit. I mean, and the media should know better. I mean, what I'm saying isn't even a secret. She beat him up in front of the paparazzi in Central Park. I mean, hello.
Really?
It was in the press at the time, and they're acting like this never happened. It was such a love story, and then they're making out like Daryl Hannah's like this horrible shrew.
Yeah, I heard Daryl Hannah making some noise lately.
No, well, Daryl Hannah, I'm writing my column about it like in a week or two, but she should sue for defamation, although I know very well how hard it is to do that. I didn't know her, but she's a sweetheart. And like, I think, I'm going to speculate here that she probably tried to save him from Carolyn.
Well, he had a type, clearly, like a tall, curvy blonde. Well, Carolyn
wasn't curvy.
She was skinny. She was skinny, scrawny,
Daryl
runway
was,
model type.
Daryl
was curvy.
Yeah, curvy and hot as shit.
Yeah, I mean, in Splash. Hello.
Yeah. No, she's that rare combination of sexy and cute, which is not, you don't see all the time.
She had the girl next door kind of blonde
she still
Americana
looks great,
face,
by the way. Yeah.
But yeah, I've never, given my connections to Hollywood, no one ever said anything bad about. I've never heard anything bad about Daryl Hannah.
But let me just say, no, I mean, and I'm convinced that Carolyn Bessette killed them both. I'm convinced
she's probably fighting him in the plane.
Oh well,
or something.
There's significant evidence to that effect. Yeah. I'm convinced, and she was literally, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone say it publicly, Ted, that John was an Emmanuel Macron, basically.
He was an Emmanuel Macron. He was a battered husband. And it was so ironic because he was literally, he could have just walked into like a library and said like, "Hi, I'm JFK Jr. Anyone want to marry me?" And like 10 women would be like, "Yo, here."
There would be panties flung in his direction from it'd just be raining panties on him.
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
Oh my God. I never thought that, because the press
she made him feel like shit. The
press always depicted her as shy and demure. And
that's probably true, that she was shy in front of, abusers don't like to be exposed to the public.
That is true. That is true. That's, Ted, my whole minor in psychology, and especially because I back then they called it deviant psychology, because this is 25 years ago and we weren't as PC. But one thing I learned about abusers was specifically was not only that they project an opposite. Usually they're very good at projecting an opposite demeanor outwardly.
Mm-hmm.
But more than anything, they don't want to be the center of attention.
No.
They want to be a background player and project their loved one as, the significant person.
It's a power struggle, right? That's what it is. Well, it's not a power struggle. And then behind closed doors. But it's a power thing. And I'm sure she got off on the fact that she was beating up this guy who was like, the iconic, this iconic figure in American popular culture. Yeah.
Yeah. Like people were saying that he was going to be the next Kennedy president, because he's so charismatic and smart enough, although he failed the bar the first time.
He really didn't want that.
Oh God!
He also shouldn't have been flying. I'll tell you some other news nobody knows. He had broken his foot a month before. Now you need your foot to fly one of those little planes. There's some pedals. He was in a cast. He was skiing and he'd broken his leg in his foot.
Well, he was going to his cousin's wedding.
He shouldn't have been flying.
Oh. Well, I hope to watch that story this weekend, or maybe find some time this weekend. But they're going to make her look like
she was awesome and all that. And
right. That's that. Talk about rewriting history.
And I'm not saying that he didn't do anything wrong, because he's a human being and all that. But like he was ultimately, compared to her, he was a saint.
Oh, what a weird. Okay, well, there's that.
In this country, we never
the Kennedys.
Abused men are like just completely. Like I always say. Agree. There's not a single bed in a country of 330 million people for a guy to call 911 and say, my wife's going to kill me. There's not one bed that guy could like fly from like Seattle to like Florida to take.
Agreed.
Not one.
No, I know. And I'm sure
before
John Wayne Bobbitt,
there's not even
before John Wayne Bobbitt got this snipped off, I'm sure that Lorena used to batter him. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sure.
Crazy Colombian bitch. Are you kidding?
I'm sure of it. Yeah. Spicy Latina wife. I'm
totally
sure of it.
Totally.
Anyway, we drifted off. The whole point was that I think the Kennedys, obviously being who they are, and pale-skinned Irishmen as they are, if you don't wear sunscreen, RFK Jr., that's what happens to you. But to his credit, he's working on trying to define UPF like the Europeans have.
It's good.
But there's a lot of stuff in his way, as you might imagine, Ted. And I'm sure one of them is a big orange man who likes McDonald's and Diet Coke.
True. All right, we have 3 more stories to get through.
Let's move on.
Apparently, the Pentagon has decided that war briefings are fine, but bad photos are not. According to certain reports, the Defense Department has barred press photographers from Pentagon briefings because they published images of Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War or the Secretary of Defense, depending on who you talk to, that said that his staff reportedly considered unflattering. Apparently, the lighting wasn't very good. The controversy began after a March 2nd press briefing, a few days after the joint U.S.-Israeli attack against Iran. Major news agencies, including AP, Reuters, and Getty, had photogs in the room capturing the event. Photos of the event were then distributed around the world through news services, but some members of Hegseth's staff didn't like the way the images made him look. So they decided to get rid, not of Hegseth's ugly, dumb face, but they got rid of the photographers. At the next 2 briefings, there were no photogs at all. The only images being taken now are by Pentagon staff photographers. So if the government's controlling the cameras, who's documenting the news? The Pentagon says that the change is simply about managing space in the briefing room. And points out that official photos are still being released afterwards, keyword official. But nobody's believing that shit. And so anyway.
How vain.
He's so vain. I bet he thinks this picture's about him. He's so vain. What a little pussy.
Well, look, he's still a TV guy. Lest we forget, a year and a half ago, Ted, he was the weekend anchor at Fox News.
Who never graduated out, by the way. Because they start you, like weekend anchor is where you start to see if you can catch fire. And then then they promote you to the weekdays, right? Then you go to either very early morning or late at night or midday. And then if you do well there, they move you to prime time.
That's right. So he was always the weekend guy, and he would pop up on weekdays as like a guest or sometimes an early morning guest fill-in host. Mm-hmm. But still, my whole point is
I think he showed up on Fox and Friends a few times, right?
Yeah. So he pops in here and there, but for the most part, his regular job was the weekend anchor.
By the way, he wears a suit. His choice of haberdashery suggests to me that he's maybe a gay man.
No, okay, look, I think personally, looks wise, he plays the part well
of a homosexual.
A news anchor or a little bit on the young side to be a sec def, but he looks the part, right? Like a strong square jaw, that grayish, full, thick head of hair, hiding all his Nazi tattoos,
right? Good
Nazi
point.
Ephemera. But he has a good build. He's tall, strapping young man.
Yeah. Do you think that do you think Netanyahu is ever like, oh, Pete, I can't do Pete Netanyahu. Pete, can I see your Nazi tattoos? Please, please, please. I want to lick them. That's my fetish.
Ew. I don't want to think of any yuck with Pete. No, hard pass. But like whatever Petey boy's personal choice. I don't know. As far as I know, he's a married dude with, I think he has like a kid or two.
Yeah, because there's no married guys who fuck dudes. At all.
That's the only evidence we have, is that the evidence before me is that he's a straight cis, overtly macho Fox guy.
Yeah, by the way, overtly macho is a tell.
I know. But again, the only evidence I have is he's a straight married. He's a straight married guy with a combination of bro and white nationalist tattoos.
And very gay-looking suits.
But I think his
any
suits
gay
look
man
good.
would be proud. Pete Hegseth would be proud to be.
I think his suits look good. He's around my age.
Like I said, he dresses like a gay man. Gay men look great. Gay men know how to dress.
Great. They dress well.
Yeah.
So gay or not, whatever. I think he looks good, but to cut out photographers who are not Pentagon approved, that is like a super bitch move.
It is a bitch move, and and by the way, it's gay and not in the homosexual way. It's like really. That's it's like,
dude, you care about what you look like that much? Like, you're the sec def. Nobody's there to say you're so photogenic, Mr. Hegseth.
Also,
you're so pretty.
It's also not like there aren't 50 million photos of Pete Hegseth all over, right? I mean, he's all over the place. So, I mean, every single day.
The broader point to this,
and they're always going to get pictures of you when you serve in public. There's always going to be a picture of you like this, like,
like mid talk, like, or like,
totally.
It's gonna be a screen grab, a screenshot of a moving image, and you're like,
there's no avoiding it. There's no, you can't, if you want to be perceived.
You're about to eat a banana, right?
If you want to be perceived as looking good, exactly. If you want to be perceived,
it's gonna happen.
If you want to be perceived as looking good all the time, then live the new Ayatollah lifestyle. Don't be seen in public, and have a state picture, a state portrait released, and leave it at that. Yeah.
You can't, he has to know. You can't avoid. Okay, this is going to have the Streisand effect, Ted, is what this tells me.
Totally.
Streisand effect, because now that you've banned photographers,
totally.
Now they're just going to stalk him outside of the Pentagon and catch him walking his fucking dog, catch him grocery shopping with his wife.
Yeah, it's going to be worse.
Getting his underwear out of his butt. That's what they're going to publish, because now you have banned them from official photography work at the DoD. So that's my prediction.
And by the way, photographers are like seriously like cartoonists. They're like some of the first people to be fired whenever media companies are having cutbacks, especially because they kind of think like, oh, we don't really need a professional photographer. We can just get someone
photos
using
from AP or whatever.
or take a picture, or send the regular reporter out with their iPhone to take their picture. And it's like, look, there is a fucking difference between Frank Cappa and me with my cell phone. I mean, professional photographers make a huge difference, even if editors and producers don't always see it. But so, I mean, professional photography in this country is really in deep trouble. And so firing two people, that's a job, right? It's like if you lose your press creds for the SecDef, you might lose your job at AP or whatever. I mean, that's not good.
It's so shitty all the way around, but we're obviously poking fun at how stupid and lame this is, because you're supposed to be a straight man, a straight macho military man, and you're worried about bad photos.
Yeah, I don't think fucking Patton or Eisenhower gave a shit about how people saw them, right?
Right? Like, who fucking cares? Like, what era are we living in that you're the fucking SecDef and you care that they got your good side?
It's so ridiculous.
All right, next story. It's just, what a weird world we're living in.
Totally.
It's so fucking weird. All right, so this one is about happiness, Ted.
All right.
So researchers compiled responses from over almost 500,000 people, 460,000 participants, regarding subjective well-being across their lifespans. Dr. Suzanne Bucker, a German, or Bucher, it has the umlauts over the top, so it's Suzanne Bucher.
I think it's yes. I think that's right.
Yeah, because the umlauts. So Suzanne Bucher, a German developmental psychology and educational psychology professor, talking about her results. She explained that, quote, 3 central components of subjective well-being are being considered: life satisfaction, positive emotional states, and negative emotional states. Respondents were asked to rate their happiness levels based on these 3 parameters. The findings were surprising to her. The happiest group weren't a bunch of 20-year-olds who spent weekends out on the town, or even those in their 50s with newfound freedom as empty nesters. Instead, the most gleeful group are decades older, people in their 70s, Ted. This group reported higher levels of life satisfaction, more frequent instances of positive emotions, and fewer instances of negative emotions compared to all other ages. I read that as when you hit your 70s, you just don't give a fuck.
And if youth is wasted on the young, Manila, then this suggests that old age is wasted on the old, because just as things are going great, you fucking die.
You drop dead. So if 70 is the new pinnacle of happiness, what does this mean for other decades? Beginning with the youngest respondents, children's happiness levels decreased between ages 9 and 16, which makes sense because like puberty starts setting in. I mean, it's early now, like 9, like, oh my God. But you start going through puberty and it's like your weird phase, right? So that makes sense to me that, happiness respondents were down from 9 to 16.
Sure.
The general dissatisfaction seen in children and teens was attributed to puberty, physical and social changes. Oh yeah, the body aches and that's a weird time. And navigating many new life stages in a short amount of years. From 16 through early 20s, 30s, and 40s, on happiness specifically, there was a steady increase. These results were interesting to her because considering so many life changes actually happen in those years, including marriages, divorces, having children, career changes. So despite that era of, your 20s and 30s and 40s, despite all the turbulence, those decades seem to bring joy to most people. In Western culture especially, we have a negative perception of aging, but these new findings flip that idea on its head, encouraging us to believe that the best is yet to come. More Americans are beginning to take notice that those glory days of our teens and our 20s weren't all they were cracked up to be. In a recent poll, when asked what age they'd like to be stuck at forever, respondents' most popular answer was 36. 40% of them said 36. 36 is a good age. Like mid to late 30s. That's a good age.
Your career is you probably have enough money to pay your bills.
Right.
They haven't started. The millennials haven't started ageisting you out of work yet. And you are probably married but without kids. So you might have.
I was exactly that. Like that was my life. Like mid to late 30s is.
Your parents are still alive, so you haven't gone through that grief thing. Yeah.
It was a good time. Although this skews older than we'd assumed initially, it's still far from the reported happiest age, which is 70. While research indicates that our fear of aging is unfounded, only 41% of respondents in that same poll said they actively embrace the aging process. I do. I'm like, maybe it's an Asian thing because we respect and revere our elders. I have no problem being considered like an older woman at this point. Like I'm not bothered by that at all. I'm not jealous of younger women.
Well, you're also not an older woman.
Well, in a newsroom or in like the media field, I am.
Well, you don't have to worry about being in a newsroom since no one's in a newsroom anymore.
That's true. But even still, I don't generally have any bad feelings about my age or insecurities or.
And that is unusual for Americans. I'm the same way. I never was afraid of getting older.
It's an Eastern thing.
I'm not afraid of. Well, I don't know what my thing is. I'm not Eastern.
I find it. You're lucky if you get to be old.
You're going to get older unless you die. So I mean, it's inevitable. I never understood anybody who I don't know. It's kind of like people who complain about the weather. Man. Like, oh, I hate this weather. It's raining.
Right.
It's you live on Earth. It's supposed to. It rains on Earth. I mean,
it's gonna
get over it.
However, 71% of the people that were polled acknowledged that it's becoming more common for Americans to accept their age. So that's promising. That's good. Yeah. So the general attitude is getting better. Obviously, the job non-hirings, I wouldn't even say cuts. The non-hirings in Silicon Valley would show that ageism is a real thing. Hopefully, this positive trend will continue as we embrace aging, learn to enjoy the happiness that comes with the journey. I love that as a middle-aged woman. I have so many friends in this industry who we're more or less around the same age, right? We're 40 plus, sub 50, 40 plus, right? They will not reveal their ages. They will not, no matter how fantastic they look. I mean, some of them have kids, some of them don't have kids, but at any rate, they're living,
they're
right?
living the shallow Pete Hegseth lifestyle.
They're my friends are beautiful and they're wonderful people every which way, because they're my friends. Like, I wouldn't be friends with some fucking douchebag. And they're hot women. They're attractive women, but they will not publicly say their age.
Gay.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm going to be 46. And I'm like, I embrace it. I think it's a wonderful thing. And in my culture, it is a blessing. It is a blessing if you become a little old gray-haired lady. If you have a bunch of grandbabies, it is a fucking blessing. So I hope that I'm that blessed. I hope I'm en route to that. And, if there's like a little nip tuck when the time comes, like, go for it. I hope I have that kind of discretionary income. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with that.
Get a new sack, new couple sacks in there, Ted. I'll be like Nancy Pelosi.
Look,
bazoombas.
I don't know about you, Manila, but it also rings true to me. Most people I know who are over 70 really are very content and happy with their lives. Look,
so you're not even there yet, Ted. You're not even at your happiest yet.
No, not at all. But I mean, but I could see it. It's kind of it's like a light at the end of the tunnel. I could see in 8 years being like, living my best life. I could see that. Yeah. You also understand what's important, and like you said, Manila, you just don't give as many shits.
You don't give a shit. For me, definitely after 40, I really was just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Whatever. I don't care. Yeah. But after 70, damn, if my ID GAF levels continue to rise, I don't even know what that would look like when I hit 70. All right. One last story.
And continuing with the health theme of today's episode, scientists say that a simple blood test may be able to predict a woman's risk of dementia as much as 25 years before she ever starts to crack up. The research comes from scientists at UC San Diego, who looked at blood samples from 2,766 women participating in the long-running Women's Health Initiative memory study. At the beginning of the study, none of the ladies showed sign of cognitive decline. They looked at this protein in the blood called p-tau217. That's a biomarker linked to Alzheimer's. Women who had higher levels of the protein in their blood were much more likely to develop dementia, even though they had no symptoms when the blood samples were taken. In some cases, the signal appeared up to 2.5 decades before they started to have memory issues. Today, diagnosing Alzheimer's often requires brain scans or spinal fluid tests, which are, of course, expensive and
let me tell you, that spinal tap, not fucking fun. That was worse than me having like the whole inflammation and whatever. That was the worst. I had the ghost pain of where they punctured my spine for like 2 or 3 months.
Oof. A simple blood test could make early screening much easier and more accessible. This could help with prevention. So if you knew that you were at higher risk, you would then have earlier monitoring, lifestyle changes like lay off the Diet Coke, and treatments aimed at delaying the disease. But the test isn't yet ready for routine medical use. And getting that biomarker, it's like the BRCA gene. It doesn't guarantee that you'll develop dementia, but it definitely means you have a significant predisposition to. But anyway, someday a small blood test could help doctors see the earliest warning signs of dementia long before your brain starts to show symptoms. That is fascinating. I wonder if this would apply to men too, Manila.
I was just thinking that I haven't delved into the actual study itself, but I did find it interesting that it was specific to women. Like, is this a protein that is specifically found only in women's blood, or?
Well, women are much more likely to develop Alzheimer's than men. So
that's true, but by a lot? By a lot,
let's look that up right now.
Well, your mom had it, right? But your dad is still.
Yeah, that's correct.
Still humming along.
Uh-huh. So yeah, it looks
how...
like it's a girl marker. So yeah, it's a girl marker.
So this p-tau whatever protein is found only in female blood. That's yet another win for biology of the XX chromosome.
Yeah, exactly. Women are twice as likely as men to develop Alzheimer's.
Wow.
Partially because they live longer. Men are like, we're out, off to fight a war, drive too fast, see ya, bye.
Well, that's true too.
But also because of menopause, estrogen loss.
Yes.
And they have that higher genetic risk due to that genetic marker. So
that's interesting. All I know is like
this is interesting. Women have stronger immune systems than men, according to Harvard
That's
Health.
probably true.
And as part of their stronger immune systems, women get more plaques than men. So it's a trade-off. Like you basically, probably biology needs women to have a stronger immune system because they, they're responsible for carrying children. And so it's like, it's more important for the woman to be healthy, at least while she's childbearing age. But the trade-off is once you've had the kid and, the kid's like learned how to hunt or gather, you can die now. And it's see ya.
Once it can fend for itself. And because you guys typically die 7 years before we do.
Yeah.
On average.
Mm-hmm.
Typically.
No, I was shocked when I went to tour the nursing home that my mom ended up dying in. And I was
all the little old ladies.
Well, I was walking around and, the lady's showing me everything. And she was this statuesque giant black woman wearing a crazy traditional white nurse's outfit. It was like a porn movie. Anyway, the point is she's like walking around and like with big, I was like, whoa. Anyway, she's showing me around and she's like, I know you watch the show. Hey, anyway, she's
yes,
like,
I was looking at your boobs.
And she's like, who wouldn't? And she's like, they're looking around. I'm like, where are the men? Like, in other words, are they in a different section?
Oh, like you thought it was like a women's only nursing home.
And she's like, and I'm like, oh. It's like that, huh? However, there were a few guys, and by the way, they were laying pipe. I mean, the guys in these facilities are getting laid 6 ways till Sunday if they want. It's crazy how much sex goes on in those places.
I know. I just don't
have that look. Stop that.
Oh, God bless them. I'm sure if I'm one of those, if I'm an old widow,
millennial.
If I'm an old widow, and I'm in one of those places, like, fuck it, whatever. Like,
well, I mean, it's like, hey, you got to get it somehow.
Yeah, but if I was like one of these widowed old ladies and I'm like out of my gourd, should I really be consenting?
Well, that's an important question. But I mean, so I think in memory care, they're more careful about that. But like in the non-memory care sections, it's kind of like, what happens at Shady Acres retirement community stays there.
Well, you will definitely die with those stories for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, is always best. There's your Health Friday. So there you go. Like if you're a woman, I guess now I hope this test becomes a thing because it runs in my family. My grandma had Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. My mom has different health issues, but I mean, we're not boding well on my mom's side of the family, but I think I have my dad's side, mostly like their genes, and they tend to be healthy, a lot of longevity. So I'm like crossing my fingers, but based on my own tells so far with this being pregnant, turning 46 this year, being pregnant now, that would tell me I am leaning more towards my dad's side of the family's genetics, who tend to be thin, have good health, and live a very long time. They're ethnically Southern Chinese. Like, and I just found out from my 23andMe updates, like, apparently I'm 70% Chinese. It keeps going up every year that they get like more blood samples spit samples from around the world or access to data, every year it's like they're telling me I'm more and more and more and more Chinese. I'm like, oh, I don't know how you keep increasing. Yeah, and they keep explaining
because it's more. Yeah, how do they explain it?
They're getting more data sets, is what they're saying.
Well, so the takeaway here is that you can't trust their results.
Right. So now I'm like, okay, like you have more access to more people. So now you're pinpointing more accurately and precisely like where my lineage can come from. Because yes, 100 years ago when they were like a new startup, I spat into the tube and sent it to them because I didn't know that everyone was going to be collecting my bio data.
I would have told you that. That's why I never did it.
15 years ago, I had no idea when it was like a new company where I was like,
although
wow,
it doesn't really
cool.
make any difference because even if you don't do it, like, oh, that is my call.
Oh, okay, there's your call. All right, that's it for us Friday. Adios, amigos. We gotta go. Have a great weekend. See you, Ted. Adios, amigos. Bye.